Oh yes, between me and you, we know that it's a Black Friday. But if you don't, at least you know that it's 13th day into the month of November 2020. Hello, good evening, and welcome to STV Select News. My name is Simon Chris Makanga. Let's first take a quick run into the headlines, and I'll be right back. In the headlines tonight, please open the bars. Bar Owners Association have expressed their grievances as the only still under lockdown. NUP supporters in Kabong district have been treated to a fate of tear gas in support of their candidate. In sports, national basketball team Silverbacks are ready for the Afro basketball qualifiers in Egypt. This and more coming up sooner than later. Oh yes, good evening once again, and thank you so much for joining us if you have just done that. My name once again is Simon Chris Makanga. We are coming live from Sky Complex, Buziga, Katuso Road. Now let's kick off with our first story that is coming from Teso Sub-Region, where Forum for Democratic Change Party President and also presidential candidate Patrick Amriat Oboi held his last campaign in Soroti District, binding farewell to his supporters as he headed for Lango Region. Elijah Triagumanawe reports.
Honor Adeke Ebeju, one of the contestants in the region, explained the challenges encountered during the campaigns.
To articulate the manifesto to a few people, we hope that they can translate the message to other people. He has been denied radio space, and that is really, it has inhibited many people from getting his message, because radios would be the fastest way in this scientific campaign period.
Patrick Oboi Amuriat and his camp later proceeded to Lango Sub-Region, where they first attended the late Margaret Okello's burial, a sister to John Baptist Okello. Okello was the FDC's vice chairman in northern Uganda. At the burial is where one relative to the late asked politicians to desist from making empty promises while campaigning, rather than fighting hard for Uganda's health system, which she says is collapsed.
We are very busy looking for votes. We are busy raising your salaries. You are busy lying to us, and I'm sure you are going to feed us with more lies today. But the reality of this country is that there's a bogus healthcare system that will only keep you alive if you are lucky that you're a member of parliament and you are benefiting from my taxes to survive.
Cecilia Ogwal requested politicians to promote unity, urging Buganda Kingdom to pay tribute to the Lango site where the late King Mwanga was hidden, as history divulges.
Anybody who is preaching a politics that divides people is not a true politician. No, a politician must preach unity, and that's what we all stand for. So I want to plead with all of us, including my party, FDC, if you stand on the platform of politics, preach unity. I'm taking care of that site, the cultural site where the king of Uganda and the king of Banyor were kept. They were kept here in Dokolo. It's not far away from here. When you go there, you tell the Baganda.
So far, the Forum for Democratic Change, FDC, has had delays due to the failure in time management throughout the entire campaigns, hence clashing with police. Report compiled by Shamira Nagawa for STV Select News.
Oh yes, thank you so much, Elijah Turiagumanawe. Now, away from Teso Sub-Region, let's go straight to Shema and Bushenye District, where retired General Mugisha Muntu has also held his presidential campaigns. He has asked all voters to trust him with their votes, as he is the only candidate that is well disciplined, and he will build systems that will accommodate the rapidly growing population in Uganda. Carol Tumwine reports.
Muntu Greg urged the Electoral Commission to stick to the professional conduct of the electoral process ahead of 2021 and stand firm by the electoral results, with transparency as the only avenue to foster peaceful transfer of power. Muntu asked the Electoral Commission to stand firmly on their ground of truth.
Tuliontu bagambira ngo bashije mu mwine chance to redeem yourselves. Iyangariyo nezanyuma yabo. Na nabo ninjiraho abamahe aba police na aba intelligence services. Bagira nkono gambira wanzana no higuragira ata. Na naba electoral commission naba chimanye niba mesinga apa karuraka nikabareretera.
With respect to presidential qualities, Mugisha Muntu says the country is in dire need of a disciplined leader capable of building reliable systems for prudential accommodation of the rapidly growing national population.
Discipline. Discipline omukumanajinga sente zihanga mwana bwenda esente zihanga oku manajingo muringo okurakuran zihanga buri munyaganda karishemerwa discipline njine abarkwenda discipline mahe on police on intelligence services on public service muntu ndia.
In his company was Winnie Chiza, the Alliance for National Transformation campaign coordinator and former leader of opposition in the 9th Parliament, who called upon people to participate in the much-needed cause for political change in the country. The Alliance for National Transformation proceeded to Rubirizi District Katerera constituency, where they launched the party offices. Carol Tumwine for...
Oh yes, thank you so much, Carol Tumwine, for that story. Now moving on, let's go straight to NRM, where supporters of President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni this morning took to the streets of Nebbi district to rejoice and cheer as they waited for the president's arrival in the area. The president was scheduled to have a meeting with the NRM leaders in Nebbi district. We have the details on this story.
The NRM chairperson and president of Uganda, Yoweri Museveni, this morning took to Greater Nebbi district to campaign for the presidency and also meet with leaders of the NRM party in this region. Museveni, who was meeting with leaders from Nebbi, Pakwach, Zombo, Madiokolo, stuck by the COVID-19 regulations of having only 200 people at the meeting, all following the COVID-19 standard operating procedures.
Lord Almighty Father, I'm here before you to give a better mandate to yourself. May Monday continue to lead us so that it can spearhead this country in the right direction, my God. I pray for this ground to be blessed.
In his speech, the president spoke of dangers of COVID-19, urging the people to be aware of the pandemic.
Not that I cannot stand up and greet them, because I have specialized masks. The masks. Which are used by surgeons. Because the surgeons can operate even on a sick person, and they will not be affected. I have those masks.
The president also spoke against leaders who have gone on to ignore the COVID-19 regulations, holding mass rallies and putting very many people at risk.
I will be protected. But those people whom I am deceiving will be infecting one another. And you call me a leader? I am an enemy of the people. So that's why, and yet it's not necessary. Because campaign means the message. The message, I have now given you the message. I have also written the message here in the booklet, which will go to all the villages. Very soon all the LC1 chairpersons will get my message here.
From Nebi district, the president will proceed to Kitgum and Moyo districts, where he will meet the leaders of the area and then speak to the people in that region through the local media outlets. Suhail Mugabe, Karo Tumwine for Select News.
Yes, thank you so much, Suhail Mugabe, for that story. Now, moving on, let's go to the Uganda Media Center, where the police spokesperson, Afande Fred Enanga, has shown their frustration and disappointment while dealing with the candidates who have failed to follow the Ministry of Health COVID-19 standard operating procedures while dealing with the campaigns. Edith Nabagirika was very present at the Uganda Media Center, and she has the details on this story.
Police spokesperson Fred Enanga has called out on political parties that made their work hard.
That some of the challenges we are facing in dispersing some of these crowds, illegal assemblies and processions, is that in some of the processions we've had vulnerable groups like children and elderly persons, women, embedded in some of those illegal assemblies and processions.
He says although some followed rules such as avoiding gathering of crowds, some have been adamant.
Of these SOPs is jointly coordinated by the Electoral Commission together with the joint security agencies, in particular the police. But we also see that wherever the Electoral Commission comes out with the tougher and more stringent action against those who are flouting the EC guidelines.
The Electoral Commission checkout recently warned candidates who have failed to follow the SOPs and that they will be punished by EC.
Help them. It will help the campaign agents to make corrections in their campaigns. In some of the countries we've seen where candidates flouting guidelines are even given warning letters. They are given suspensions like 2 or 3 days away from the campaign trail, or even disqualified.
He also gave a detailed report on the crimes committed throughout the campaign season and gave a stern warning.
N'ekiwanga ekiteebereza okubeera eky'omuntu ono yabadde alina n'ebintu ebirala omwabadde ejjembe awamu n'ebiragalalagala nga yali yajja mu kitundu ekyo nga bagezaako okulimbalimba abatuuze nti basawo bakinnansi. Era ono Lubega Rogers mu kumukwata yalaze nti ebintu bino bya muganda bo Lubega Stuart.
Uganda will be making their choice on who they want their leaders to be on the 14th of January 2021. Edith Nabagereka, Karo Tumwine for Select News.
Thank you so much, Edith Nabagirika, for that story. Now, Select News takes a very short break and returns with lots of more other stories, including one from the NUP camp. Please do stay around.
Hey guys, you're watching STV. Select for fun.
Credible, bold and accurate. You can trust us to add professional context and in-depth analysis to the web of current affairs every week. Share an experience with those that saw it happen. A blend of opinions from journalists, subject experts, and involved participants. The Newsroom, breaking down the weekly top stories. Join us at 9:30 p.m. every Saturday, only on STV.
Hey guys, you're watching STV. Select for fun.
All right, welcome back from that slight break. Now let's go on with our Select News, and let's go to Kabong Karamoja sub-region, where the National Unity Platform supporters were treated to a fate of tear gas while cheering up their party president, Robert Kyagulanyi Ssentamu. Karo Tumwine filed this report for us.
Kyagulanyi, on his way to Oyam, as in all his campaigns, was surrounded by a mammoth of crowds that escorted him all through to the grounds. Kyagulanyi made a promise of better service delivery. He castigated the incumbent government for failing to do enough to end poverty and corruption. Kyagulanyi cited tribalism, coupled with poor service delivery, as another visible defect of the current government. Bobi Wine will be heading to a pack to continue his campaign. Carol Tumwine for Select News.
All right, that story was a bit short, but I'm pretty sure that we shall bring you the details of that story in our subsequent bulletins, and that will be tomorrow. Now, moving on, let's go to Lugogo Katikati grounds, where Nakandi Sarah spoke to the Bar Owners Association, an organization that heads all the bars in Uganda. These have shown their grievances after being subjected to a lockdown close to 9 months. Recently, the Ministry of Health relaxed the lockdown, and economies including sauna, steam bath, gym, among others, were opened, unlike the bars. We have the details on this story.
To the other, economies that have been under lockdown were let loose to restart and rebuild their businesses again. Recently, the Ministry of Health gave a go-ahead to gyms, cinemas, among others, to operate, but emphasized that bars would remain closed. Counting down to over 9 months of business shutdown, Bar Owners Association has decided this needs to stop.
Continued closure has resulted several economic consequences, with many bars and the club business going into distress. Bars are the key players in hospitality industry, sustaining over 6.3 million people in diverse value chain that consists of manufacturing, grain farmers, contract distributors, and retailers.
They question government's decision to keep bars closed, yet they have shown ways in willingness to follow the SOPs.
The members of this association, we have to make sure everybody is following the guidelines of the Ministry of Health and the task force. Management of all bars shall ensure availability of sufficient security to evict non-compliant clients. Curfew hours shall be respected by all outlets, and all bars will close at 8 p.m. to allow sufficient time for clients to travel home before 9 p.m. Given to all bars. When the government allowed us to open our bars, plus if there is another guidelines from the Ministry of Health and the task force, if there is anything to be added on these SOPs, we are ready to implement.
Like any other businesses, they say bars are their source of income.
And under even more distresses by the fail to meet their credit obligations. There are so many credit obligations, security, suppliers, vegetable suppliers, and everything, etc. We therefore wish to make a plea to the government to allow us to reopen our business with strict COVID standard operation procedure.
Government collects 2.8 trillion revenue annually from bars, but ever since March, the government has lost almost 1.1 trillion shillings.
The bar business generated approximately 2.8 trillion shillings annually in revenue. Since March 2020, bars have suffered in revenue loss of 1.1 trillion shillings and continue to count losses as business remain closed. It goes without saying that continued closure has led to massive job loss, with many individuals previously employed in bars now out of jobs.
According to them, if they're not opened immediately, they will demonstrate peacefully. Husna Afet, Sarah Nakandi, Select News.
All right, now Select News takes a very short break, and we'll return with other stories that are making headlines. For now, we'll be back.
Hey guys, you're watching STV. Select for fun.
My baby, I mean it when I say I love you. Hey STV Uganda, my name is Caroline Lea. This is Select Celebrations, where we bring you different celebrations.
Now you believe me when I say you'll be my final bus stop.
We celebrate every milestone, marriage. It can be kuchala, kuoa, kuhinjira.
And today, I make this vow to you, my eternity.
Birthday parties, graduation parties, we celebrate with you every Sunday with your presenter Caroline Lea, only at STV Uganda.
What's up my people? So welcome, it's a beautiful, beautiful day. My name is Kaya Imran and this is the Select Fix Up Music. Movies.
You have proven you can rule yourself. Now you must learn to rule others. Something none of your ancestors learned.
Video games.
Forget the tunnel. We get him before he reaches the city.
Nothing else. We strictly deal with the best. Top 10 countdown for music, top 10 movies to watch. Everything that you need is right here on the Select Fix Up.